It's for me pliers, not for you to clamp me. It's going backwards. It's going backwards. It's not in my direction. It's about to collide. As we all know, Tower of Fantasy is the one who loves to deceive people the most. The same goes for this new mimetic plot. I believe all the friends who have watched the plot have a deep memory of Ling Xiao as Zeke's deputy, serving as an intelligent servant for research and development. But there have been repeated situations. Give a highly unreliable impression. Others call her Domain 9 Shelly. Toot toot roast that she was inferior to Shelly. If you think the same way, that would be a big mistake. Don't be foolhardy when it comes to Ling Xiao, often causing problems. Actually, she is a hardworking genius. Although this mimicry is really the home of Zeke's brother and sister. But what caught my eye the most was the clever character design. According to Uncle Zhong in Windward Outskirts, Ling Xiao has been interested in researching machinery since childhood. She is also known as a little inventor. Although it's not very reliable, but the strength is beyond doubt. Zeke is also interested in her talent. Let her be responsible for the development of intelligent servants. In fact, Ling Xiao herself came from Kyushu Heavy Industries. Just by name, you can tell that this is also an organization that gathers talents. In the branch mission of Little Firebird, there is a jade mason named Sher LV. Also mentioned the existence of Kyushu Heavy Machinery. The reason is that it was interested in his craftsmanship. From this perspective, Kyushu Heavy Machinery is more like a technical organization. Those who can join such organizations are naturally not ordinary people. Of course, this is based on the origin of Ling Xiao. So, is there any reflection in this plot? Not only does it reflect, and there are many places. First of all, we need to know where the intelligent servant comes from. Domain 9 originally had no intelligent servants. After opening the Celestial Gate, Zhuge asked for help. The intelligent servant was handed down to Domain 9 by Hypros. This can also be considered a support force. Domain 9 has always developed timestamp technology. But the intelligent servant is a proper omnium energy technology. Although we all know that field energy and omnium energy may be the same energy. But in terms of energy use, there is a significant difference between the two. That's why Ling Xiao calls Shelly Sherfu. And you can also see Shelly's learning books in the laboratory. It can be said that Ling Xiao can understand intelligent servants. It's already a genius. As for Mingjing, he was Zeke. And he helped Sally fix Mia in the past. So Mingjing's understanding of intelligent servants is not so amazing. On the contrary, Yu, who knows people well, is amazing. The wise servant came from Hycros. She can put Mingjing in charge at the first time. It seems that there is already speculation about his background. The next highlight is Dudu's Road to the Lord. Speaking of Toot Toot, many people may not know who it is. So let's first recall the mimetic plot of the maid. There are many rumors in Meroria. Among them is the figure of a maid. We followed Shelly and the maid to go. Former site of Hinriard Group, where I came into contact with the awakening of robots. Detailed interpretation can search for past videos of Xiaofeng. After this expedition, visit Shelly again. You will find an additional robot called Bobo in her home. Through conversation, it was learned that Shelly took a circuit board from former site of Hinriard Group. And then she created the Bobo. Speaking of Bobo, it's not ordinary at all. When Shelly was at home, Bobo's conversations are mainly about flattering. And it looks like a normal artificial intelligence. But once Shelly is not at home, Bobo's nature was exposed. It claims to be the Lord. If the maid hears that she must dismantle it. The word emperor comes from the top of Hinriard Group. They adopted children from orphanages invested by Lyra Foundation. And trained them into killers who only know how to obey orders. Among them is the maid Annabella. And these top leaders call themselves the Lords. The naming of the Crown Prince by Bobo also means to imitate it. When we explored the former site of Hinriard Group, we have already been exposed to intelligent awakening. Bobo is also a part of it. It always wants to conquer humanity. It thinks its journey is the Sea of Stars. Unfortunately, Shelly blocked its steps. After the intelligent servant was introduced into Domain 9, Shelly was responsible for the liaison with Ling Xiao, simultaneously providing technical support. During this period, Shelly copied Bobo's data. This is Toot Toot, who is in charge of Domain 9, the intelligent servant laboratory. It can be said that this laboratory event, the maid and Shelly are the culprits. Does it feel like everything is connected? That's also why I think the plot is excellent this time. But the incident is not so simple. After we were fooled by Toot Toot, found the legion of intelligent servants to deal with the threat. On the ground, it is the body that Toot Toot has built for himself. As a comparison, you can take a look at Bobo. Both of them are surprisingly neat. Toot Toot also equipped himself with glasses. With all due respect, Bobo, this is being scammed by Shelly. I couldn't get rid of Shelly's influence even by creating a separate body. At this moment, there is a log next to Toot Toot's body. It provides a detailed introduction to the beginning and end of the Toot Toot plan. I will explain in detail later. Here we only look at the Ling Xiao part. At first, Toot Toot was still dismissive of Ling Xiao. But until this day, the permissions of the Intelligent Servant Network have been restricted. From this moment onwards, Ling Xiao started to fight against Toot Toot. This is not my imagination. After coincidentally arriving, you can see what she said. Everything is planned. Don't look at Ling Xiao's bewildered expression. All of this is her calculation. She just didn't expect it to happen. When Zeke came to inspect the work, Sir, the Void Angel suddenly took action. The result was the same as she had expected. But the timing caught her off guard. Ling Xiao is really not easy. When we return to the upper level, don't rush through the plot yet. There is a Ling Xiao autobiography on the table. Many people believe that she has made improvements to intelligent servants. There is a hint of embellishment in painting a snake. Even more questioning her strength. Little did she know that all of this was intentional. An excellent mechanic must be able to proactively identify and meet implicit needs beyond the requirement list. That's the original intention of Ling Xiao. She's not incompetent, but it's too much striving for excellence, including her sleeping in the laboratory. Ling Xiao is not just about working hard enough, also very talented in learning. A genius like this who is both talented and willing to work hard. Be worthy of being the top mechanic in Domain 9. But it has to be said that the talented machinists in the Tower of Fantasy are more or less too individualistic. Deadhouse and Social Terror Zero. Cobalt B for weapons playing music. Shelly drowned in shallow water. Everyone is talented and outstanding. But the ideas are getting more and more outrageous. Now, with the addition of Overtime, Mad Demon Ling Xiao, the best pilot quartet of Tower of Fantasy was born. When you understand the character settings of Ling Xiao, to understand the entire plot of the laboratory, underneath the playful daily routine are calculations and strategies. Ling Xiao's plot is just the tip of the iceberg in this plot. Next, let's enter the theme of this plot. Shirley and Zeke's Domain 9 reunion. The spicy man has finally returned. Now let's start from scratch. The executor received a communication from Shirley. It was MSYU who invited us to have a talk. Do you have any time now? Ms. You just contacted me and invited us to have a chat in Ignisville Mansion. Meet Shirley soon. GU's purpose of this conversation is very clear. Rather than let Shirley accidentally encounter Ming Jing, it's better to actively induce Shirley to contact Ming Jing. But it should be noted that Ming Jing's identity at this time. Zeke is a foreigner. Another variable in the Tempo's supercomputer. Now he has become the new Xuanwu Lord. He is also responsible for the research and development of Domain 9 the Intelligent Servant, GU, as Ming Jing's immediate boss. Such a capable and subordinate. Is she really willing to let go? So in our conversation, MSYU skillfully mentioned a suggestion is to prevent Ming Jing from being excessively stimulated. About this point, I've been struggling too. Does MSYU want Zeke to recover his memory? From previous literary works, it can be seen that there will also be many scenes where the protagonist loses memory. The opportunity to restore memory is either to revisit the place of memory, or it's just a recapitulation of past memories. But MSYU has no choice. But it reminds us to pay attention to ways and methods, and gave us the right to choose. Seems to be very proactive in handling things. But this kind of behavior is more effective than getting everyone together to talk. Of course about that, Shirley. An explanation was also provided later on. When someone with amnesia looks at their loved ones in front of them, eager to restore one's memory. But he couldn't do it himself. That kind of powerlessness can lead to conflicts. It's also because of this. Shirley gave up meeting Zeke. But does MSYU think so? As mentioned earlier by Xiao Feng, MSYU asked Zeke to take charge of the research and development of intelligent servants. It means that she has already judged the origin of Zeke. From the conversation with Shirley, GU also probably thinks that Zeke is Ming Jing's. Since we all have this information, why can't we use more intense methods to make siblings recognize each other? The talks here seem more like excuses to me. If MSYU doesn't take the initiative to mention Ming Jing in the future life of Domain 9, Shirley will also notice the existence of Ming Jing. At that time, the situation will become uncontrollable. The best policy is to proactively propose but not take responsibility like now. The Lord of Xingong is really terrible. Of course, this may also be my framing of MSYU. What if she really looks forward to seeing her siblings again? What do you think? After meeting MSYU, Shirley's confession was welcomed. My brother is taking care of the shelter. Uncle Paulu has corrected his drinking habit. We will go to the ruins again to take risks. Isn't she describing exactly the life we had when we first entered the game? Plain yet very happy. Maybe in Shirley's heart. Or would she rather live an ordinary life? But all of this can't go back anymore. The moment when Shirley became Nemesis. Her mission has already changed. Nemesis has placed great hopes onto the Sage. It is also a part of the plan of the Sage. Her life is destined to be extraordinary. So the idea here is just an extravagant hope. Just like Shirley mocked herself. Sounds like a child who hasn't grown up yet. Shirley is still comforting us. Even if Ming Jing is not Zeke. She also hopes to have some effect. After the plot moves to Vera. Many people think that Shirley forgot about looking for her brother. After all, the glamour of Mirror City is already enough to make people not to want to miss you anymore. But in fact, Shirley never forgot. Flip through the plot of the past. You will find that Shirley has taken the initiative to undertake the tasks in the new area. Why is she willing to risk herself? Also participate in various dangerous tasks? Because she needs to search enough places. So she can rest assured. So don't look at Vera. There are very few plot segments mentioning finding her brother. But Shirley's footprints are all over Vera. Finally, she had to give up. The appearance of Domain 9 ignited her hope. In particular, the Domain 9 also have a gray space entity. It was a possibility to guess where Zeke would go. Is to enter the field of gray space entity by mistake. So Shirley's visit to Domain 9 is not totally groundless. She also has a purpose. The plot of the Tower of Fantasy has always been like this. At first glance, it looks ordinary and unremarkable. But after careful consideration, it is extremely reasonable. There are almost no stupid characters in Tower of Fantasy. Some have their own positions and calculations. After meeting Shirley the next day, we arrived at the location where we met Ming Jing. Here's an extra mouthful. Tian Lang in charge. Looking forward to live streaming. At this moment, he is following Mimi. He went to Joltville to study plants. At the same time, MSYU came to drink tea with us. Also after Ming Jing PV. The plot of the Tower of Fantasy is not about digging a pit or not burying it. We're starting to thread and sew together. Look at the Ming Jing in the distance. Shirley has been very determined. He is Zeke, her brother who has been separated for many years. To be honest, this hasn't even changed its appearance. If anyone can't recognize it, he has a ghost. But then Shirley began to worry about her gains and losses. So, what should I do? What I should say is more appropriate if he doesn't remember us. Fortunately, there is a thoughtful guarantee from the executor. No matter what happens next, let's face it together. Listen to these words of Tiger and Wolf. It has to be said that the emotional intelligence of the executor is really high. So why not marry and flirt? Shirley plucked up her courage and went down the steps. Meanwhile, Ming Jing is listening to his subordinate's report. Pay attention to the domain guard's dress. He is not a domain guard in Ignisville or Joltville. If we divide it according to Xuanwu's responsibility for Kanzhou, the domain guard with the quiver is the domain guard of Kanzhou. Mingjing is a new generation of Xuanwu adults, even with a part-time job as an intelligence servant. But the responsibility of Xuanwu itself cannot be forgotten. I'm curious about what the domain guard here reported. Could it also be an ambush for the subsequent plot? The last palace master and 4 adults entered Marshville and disappeared. It led to the reorganization of the leadership of Domain 9. At present, it seems that the most likely person to be responsible for exploring the ruins and searching for and rescuing the old palace lord. That's the new Xuanwu and White Tiger. What happened to the Marshville ruins? This reminds me of the Domain 9 theme song Endless Collection. The old man fishing inside. Who could he be? It's a bit far-fetched. Let's continue back to the plot. Shirley looks at Mingjing's voice. She's totally sure he's her brother Zeke. With a trance. Both of them seem to have become what they were before. But all of this is just a fantasy. Mingjing really forgot Asperia's memory. At the same time, Shirley, the sister, was forgotten. The executor urged several times. Shirley just woke up from her fantasy. Shirley? Mingjing is still in a business-like manner. Take seriously the work of continuing to develop intelligent servants. Xiao Feng also said before. Intelligent servant is a very important part of Domain 9. We must have seen the current situation of Domain 9 in the wild. 9 soldiers can't fight through a darkness. In such a battle-loss ratio, Domain 9 will soon be out of soldiers. At this time, the intelligent servants brought by Hypros solved the urgent need. Combat-type intelligent servants emerge in response to the situation. That's exactly what happened. In the exploration of Domain 9, whether opening a treasure chest or decrypting it, all the resources provided are related to intelligent servants. Only because the intelligent servant is too important to the current Domain 9. According to Mingjing, our task today is to investigate the progress. Speaking of people means leading inspections. I guess that's not unfamiliar to everyone, since it's a leadership inspection. So the subordinates naturally have to deal with the inspection. Let's take a look at how Ling Xiao will handle it next. Soon we followed Mingjing to the intelligent servant R&D laboratory of Zidian. Just as we entered the door, we heard Ling Xiao scream. Dear me, this is just a major workplace crisis. To put it in reality, even if Ling Xiao doesn't get fired, wearing small shoes is definitely necessary. See Mingjing coming. Ling Xiao hurriedly ran over in a panic. Note that there is still a turtle intelligent servant on the ground at this time. That's what she just said about the rampage. Ling Xiao's panic explanation was originally intended to be sorted out. Mingjing seems to have seen it for a long time. To be honest, she's going to organize the crime scene again. Word after word, it can be seen that Ling Xiao is not a first offender. Pay attention to the table behind you. The cup was also overturned. Looking at it this way, Ling Xiao is indeed a bit unreliable. From a certain perspective, Ling Xiao is like the Tower of Fantasy itself. Tower of Fantasy often messes up games. Passers-by will think she is incompetent. But in fact, this is because Tower of Fantasy has never stopped innovating. Because of continuous innovation, we constantly struggle. The problems are endless. Just like what Ling Xiao said to herself, Tower of Fantasy has been exploring the hidden needs of everyone. Meanwhile, Tower of Fantasy is also working hard. Ling Xiao is not satisfied with 996. The same is true of Tower of Fantasy. From the branch line of Jingdu Studio, we can also experience the efforts of the studio. Otherwise, the content will be updated so quickly. How did such high production capacity come about? Many of the plot of Tower of Fantasy can be incorporated into the game itself. This may be official self-deprecation, right? Tower of Fantasy is really a nurturance game. The difference is that others develop roles. We develop games. Exposed by superiors in public. Ling Xiao also feels a bit embarrassed. Mingjing wanted to ask if he could help her. Ling Xiao was cleverly evaded. Where is there? I have made enough preparations and am waiting for you and 2 distinguished guests to come. What a great opportunity to shake the pot. She just missed it. Unfortunately, she managed to escape on the first day of junior high school and couldn't escape on the 15th day. Mingjing still needs to help her with her troubles in the back. Pay attention to the lines on the wall here. The wiring here is clearly connected to both display screens. We all know that the energy used by Domain 9 is field energy. This is a way to use field energy. It doesn't seem much different from our current electricity. Such a technologically rich laboratory. No one thinks that Domain 9 is the world of cultivating immortals, right? This is a safe science fiction. Ling Xiao is like a person in charge of receiving inspections from leaders. Started introducing us to the research and development progress. Firstly, the tactical disguise provided by the intelligent servant. The intelligent servant has added monocular glasses similar to those in the 7 Dragon Ball on his head. In the 7 Dragon Ball, this used to be Vegeta's equipment. Can display the enemy's combat effectiveness. That gave birth to classic famous scenes. Scum with less than 5 combat power. Tower of Fantasy is always good at playing with stocks. The intelligent servants here also use monocular glasses to evaluate the safety index of the surrounding area. The friendly robot refers to Shirley. Unknown threat refers to Toot Toot. However, there is clearly a problem with the evaluation criteria here. Add 50 in the research room. Reduce 1 only for unknown threats. How many Toot Toots does it take to trigger tactical camouflage? No wonder the intelligent servant knows there is a threat. But still no action. Ling Xiao cleverly and see that why servants do not give face. The emergency module is about to be activated. Who expected? Enable emergency module. It can be considered a large-scale social death scene. Mingjing's safety index is as high as 100. But it feels more like it's out of admiration for Xuanwu. Otherwise, the executor and Sally will add up to 20. This is too weak a chicken. Demo completed. Mingjing can only make a perfunctory hum. Next up is Little Firebird. Ling Xiao has added the function of synthesizing food to it. Considering that the domain guard have no time to eat and drink in the battle with darkness, the original intention here is good. The form of expression is speechless. It was actually done by laying eggs. If it is a ready-made product, it is not unacceptable. But you still have to watch it be made on site. Not only have people become numb, even the little Firebird itself is tired and numb. Until the end of the visit. Nor did we see the birth of a synthetic food. Next to visit is an intelligent servant with a sound module. Simply put, it is loaded with the function of Xiaoai speaker. Can imitate the roar of wild animals. Can you listen to the blowing, playing, and singing? You can also use voice memos. Ling Qiao, I suddenly feel a little uncomfortable. Our new system seems to have a fatal vulnerability. Let me take a look again. You also need to pay attention. I can leave you a message. The sudden appearance of Shelly's voice once again provided divine assistance to Ling Qiao. Add another unreliable feeling. In order to get rid of the dilemma, Ling Qiao can only visit the next intelligent servant again. The Angel of Nothingness comes from the Norn Federation of planet Ida. That is, the Norn Federation. The nihilistic angel is considered a natural leader temperament. He also wears monocular glasses on his head. Ling Qiao has added the officer function to it, having the power to command subordinates. The Angel of Nothingness has a certain degree of autonomy, so it can lead a small team of intelligent servants to directly attack Dudu's headquarters. But during the demonstration, the Angel of Nothingness remains unmoved by it. The existence of Lord Xuanwu means absolute safety. Mingjing is also embarrassed. Let's just take a look first. He followed Ling Qiao to the room inside. We thought Mingjing would reprimand her, but we only saw Zeke's helpless little eyes. And finally, he put his hand on his forehead. At this moment, Mingjing doesn't know whether he will feel that he is entrusted by others. Ling Qiao stood obediently aside. She dares not take a breath in the air. It's like a child who's doing something wrong and waiting to be scolded. We can only look around to pass the time. Come to the blackboard. There is a work schedule on it. Working for 3.5 hours in the morning. Work for 5.5 hours in the afternoon. I have to work for 1.5 hours at night. It's been 10.5 hours in total. There will be someone else working overtime later on. 996. When I see it, I have to call it Nyopai directly. Ling Qiao's diligence is in sharp contrast to Shelly's laziness. Shelly slept at home when she had nothing to do. Come to Shirley's place. Shelly's study books are placed on the table. Fortunately, it is obscure and difficult to understand. If you bring Shelly's escape script. That's lame again, a mechanic. It seems that this is Shelly's teaching. Shirley is checking the tired little firebird. In the laboratory, it's not just Ling Qiao and loving work. The same goes for other assistants. After talking with Shirley, I learned that she felt strange familiarity in Mingjing, especially the feeling of inspection work. Just like Zeke did with the shelter. It can also be seen from Shirley's narration. Mingjing still retains the behavior habits of Zeke period. What about the executor? Same as Amnesia. Have we really worked as electricians in the past? Otherwise, why would we be so skilled in repair work? At this moment, an intelligent servant ran out of the room inside. Go straight to the location of the Angel of Nothingness. The executor was also attracted by Toot Toot. At this point, pay attention to the scene in the camera. The intelligent servant squad has started operations. Toot Toot, it's numb in an instant. 1 second ago, he said that all the intelligent servants were under his own control. The next second, the intelligent servant will come towards him. Toot Toot can only deceive us by saying that the intelligent servant has lost control. Fortunately, we were 1 step late. Otherwise, it will be aiding the tyrant to become a tyrant again. Tower of Fantasy likes the plot of helping villains. Always telling you at the end. You were deceived. The most memorable one among them is a task for Mirror City. The branch line of the support association in Lin. Not telling you the purpose of the task. Just asking you to do something. Fortunately, it wasn't a bad thing in the end. But this also reflects Tower of Fantasy's thinking about the tasks themselves in the game. All along, players are driven by rewards when doing tasks. Do you care about the right or wrong of the task itself? Tower of Fantasy has been trying to make players realize to carry your mind to tasks. Otherwise, it's likely to be helping the enemy with their work. You have to help others count money after being sold. The typical example here is the gold boss of the mine. Don't be in a hurry and follow the intelligent servant down. At this point, return to the room. We'll find that Shirley has changed her position. She is staring intently at her brother. Don't rush to create the plot of the Tower of Fantasy. Tower always likes to hide some inconspicuous little details. But it's precisely these small details. That's the key to understanding the plot. Alright, now we can go and see the intelligent servant. The following has become a mess. Speaking of nihility, angels really dare to write anything. Undoubtedly, it is a natural leader temperament. Toot Toot is also a waste. Surprisingly, it just lost it like this. We can't really blame it, Toot Toot. The angel is not controlled by Toot Toot as it has nothing to do with itself. And the surveillance footage here is constantly changing. There may even be situations where all surveillance is in the same place. No wonder Toot Toot couldn't discover the existence of the nihilistic angel. In one of the monitors, the dialogue between Ling Qiao and Mingjing is displayed. Be sure to carefully observe the movements of Ling Qiao. Just as the two of them were discussing the research and development situation, Little Turtle intelligent servant crawled in. Quicker than words can tell. Ling Qiao blocked the little turtle with a single arrow step. Cut off the side of Mingjing. She seems to be seriously answering Mingjing's question. Actually, I have been observing the movements of the little turtle all along. When the little turtle was about to leave, and just got in front of Mingjing. These little actions are all under the watchful eye of the executor. Do you love this kind of Ling Qiao? With a deep sigh from Mingjing. Ending our voyeuristic behavior. Mingjing also has difficulties. Ling Qiao is truly capable. But there's also a lot of trouble left behind. And she hasn't volunteered to ask him for help yet. Can only be an afterthought, Zhuge Liang. I have no idea what kind of surprise Ling Qiao will bring. Having subordinates like this, it's not something that can be described by a tired heart. The key is that Ling Qiao is still working hard. They're already sleeping in the laboratory. Such subordinates cannot bear to scold. At this moment, Toot Toot brought new news. The intelligent servant squad is approaching deep. Toot Toot is clearly a bit flustered. Even the tone became urgent. Hurry up, grab it. The executor keenly discovered the changes in Dudu. Toot Toot can only falsely claim that it is the core location of the laboratory. But do you think the executor believe it? We learned that Ling Qiao is truly capable. It's just not very mature to handle. This also indicates that during her previous visit, the functions displayed to us are all real existence. So let's assume that the one with the problem is Toot Toot. What the intelligent servant is doing now is clearing up the threat. Don't look at the executor acting silly. Actually, he's very shrewd. And Toot Toot did one more thing wrong. Is its intelligent image? The executor has been to the former site of Hinriard Group. Seeing this image again, how could it be possible not to think too much? With a crackling sound, Toot Toot's body has been dismantled completely. Upon hearing the sound, Ling Xiao hurriedly came down to check. The first thing she asked was Toot Toot. It can be seen that there is currently no intention of taking action against Toot Toot. But it's just a matter of time. Let's go back and take a look at Dudu's log. The first chapter is about escaping from Shelly's claws. Unfortunately, Toot Toot is just the incarnation of Bobo. So Bobo is still under Shelly's control. In the second part, it can be seen that Toot Toot has already deceived Ling Xiao and also exposed the identity of one's own lord. To the third chapter, we have entered the stage of fraud. And it's progressing very smoothly. From the description of Toot Toot, Domain 9 had no intelligent servants before. It thinks that Ling Xiao and Shelly can't compare. In Toot Toot's eyes, he still recognizes Shelly's ability. At this point, Toot Toot had already fooled Ling Xiao into connecting to the intelligent servant network. From then on, the intelligent servant returned to Toot Toot's control. To the fourth chapter, Toot Toot's lord's great cause has already been secretly carried out. The first step is to create the body of the lord. But due to Ling Xiao, she hardly sleep. Toot Toot's little movements are also progressing slowly. To the fifth chapter, the situation has reversed. The permissions of the intelligent servant network have been restricted. From this moment onwards, Toot Toot only realized the problem of Ling Xiao cleverly. To the sixth chapter, there was a bipolar reversal in the evaluation of Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao's learning speed and workability are too amazing. And the chief of the research and development team has left Dudu's control. It seems that Ling Xiao is ready to take action. Toot Toot is the best test stone. Otherwise, there's no way to explain why the officer didn't connect to the network. The next post will be a self-warning beep. Long before we came, Toot Toot discovered the enormous threat posed by the commander. But after all, it's just an incarnation of the Numenon Bobo. Toot Toot is a data backup that can be completely discarded. The last log is the message from Ming Jing. Once certified, it will accelerate the deployment of intelligent servants. This is not good for Toot Toot. So it must stop all of this. That's to disrupt this leadership inspection. Speaking of which, have you found anything? That's right. The intelligent servant of Ling Xiao has not been unable to develop successfully. But Toot Toot has been playing tricks behind the scenes. When Ling Xiao is showing us, Toot Toot has been watching us from behind. That's why the visit was extremely difficult. Imagine if you were the person in charge of the intelligent servant. These functions are all immature. Will you show it to the leader? Isn't this hitting oneself in the face? The real situation is that the use of intelligent servants is very normal in daily life. The problem only occurred during our visit. This caught Ling Xiao off guard. When we return, Ling Xiao is facing the angel of nothingness from afar. She was not surprised by the behavior of the nihilistic angel. It's just that the timing is not very coincidental. Just in time for Ming Jing to inspect. Ling Xiao hopes that we will keep everything happening here confidential. And said that everything was within the plan. It also confirms that she already knew about the existence of Toot Toot's body. Poor Toot Toot has been put to death like this. Mechanists are indeed terrifying. At this point, return to the upper level. You will find that Toot Toot on the screen has disappeared. It seems to have been completely eliminated. There is a message written by Shelly to Ling Xiao on the table. Shattered Shelly claims to be a master. But she left such a big hidden danger in Domain 9. If it weren't for Ling Xiao and responding promptly, it's very likely to become an intellectual crisis. Next to it, there is also Ling Xiao's self-statement. It was also from here that I realized that Ling Xiao is not easy. Why is Xiao Feng's interpretation always surprising? This is the result of the information gap. If I don't find the information here, I would also find Ling Xiao unreliable. The judgments brought about by this are all wrong. But precisely because of this information, to recreate the true plot, it has to be said that the Tower of Fantasy is gone forever in Soul Narrative. Missing this information, the entire plot may have been misunderstood. Ling Xiao is really powerful. But more powerful is Ming Jing. Ability to appreciate Ling Xiao's skills. Zeke, who has repeatedly taken care of the aftermath. The vision is truly unique. After returning to the upper level, everyone has gathered at the entrance of the laboratory. Don't rush out yet. Here is also some information. It seems that Shelly also has serious work. In another branch line, Shelly came to Domain 9 to attend the Kyonglu Grand Meeting. Also working with illness. The role of Tower of Fantasy is far from simple. Although sometimes it may seem unreliable. But when working, they were unexpectedly serious. This may be what humans can do in this harsh environment. The secret to survival, right? Farewell to the clever Ling Xiao. Just walk up the stairs. Hearing a sound coming from the laboratory. Let go. Let go. This cannot be pressed. Absolutely not. If there is no accident, there will be an accident. The Nihility Angel activated the upgrade button of the Intelligent Servant. This cannot be blamed on the Intelligent Servant. It can only be said that the Intelligent Servant made by Ling Xiao is too excellent. Smart servants handle threats. The biggest threat now is darkness. If you want to deal with darkness, upgrading to the Smart Servant Legion is undoubtedly the best choice. Unfortunately, Ling Xiao is going to have to take the blame again. In the dialogue with Ming Jing, she also tried to keep things hidden from her. However, there are simply no staff. She can only confess. Looking at the helpless Ming Jing, we suddenly feel distressed. Having talented subordinates is a good thing. But if things happen again and again every 3 days, his heart has to be shattered. Ming Jing soon gave the order. Pack up your place and I'll handle the market. Actually, just call me by my name. I don't really care about the identity of an adult. It only means responsibility to me. For Ming Jing, identity only means responsibility. Actually, this place is also filling in the pit. Double label Zeke has been a problem since the service was opened. But for Zeke, the leader of the shelter is just a responsibility. He didn't feel that it was a power. He doesn't expect everyone to obey his commands either. It is only a consensus that the shelter will be executed by relatives. He never thought of using the power of a leader to force acceptance. Since it was not imposed on others, what is the theory of double standards? Everything is just their own choice. Then Ming Jing has a showdown. when there was a loud noise in the laboratory. He had already foreseen that such a situation would happen. In fact, I wasn't too surprised. When you heard such a big noise, did you predict such a development just now? Ming Jing evaluated Ling Qiao. It can be seen that he has a thorough understanding of Ling Qiao. He is worthy of being a leader who knows how to make good use of others. I guess so. She has a lot of talent and creativity, and is an action-oriented person who immediately takes action when she has an idea. Although sometimes the impact on the overall project is overlooked, she can help the project move towards better development. I can feel the urge to make results to prove my feelings, but she always needs help from others. This place is also filling in the pit. Strive to achieve results to prove oneself. Who is this talking about? Could it be that someone's sister repaired the space rift? Who goes exploring the ruins? At that time, Shirley also wanted to prove herself. But Zeke at that time was not as tolerant as he is now. He dotes on his sister, afraid she might suffer some injustice. But in contrast, the current Ming Jing, it's already much more mature. Will let go and let Ling Qiao do it. And he will silently tidy up the mess behind her. Maybe this is Shirley's ideal image of a brother. After arriving at the market, coincidentally, I met Zhongbao catching a bird. Zhongbao and Zhongbei are both siblings. They are Uncle Zhong's grandchildren and granddaughters. It's a regular guest of Ming Jing. It is also a metaphor for the relationship between Ming Jing and Shirley. We learned that he is catching the upgraded little firebird. Let's hurry up and help, too. But judging from the results, thanks to the help of Rhubarb, it deserves to be the best dog in the Domain 9. It can recite poetry and dance, which surpasses Pomegranate Dubois in literary. It can also jump up and down to fight intelligent servants in Kung Fu. Now, the little firebird is not just honest. It's so bitten that it can't move anymore. I don't know if Rhubarb has broken a few teeth. I learned from Zhongbao that this is stupid 3 and 4. There are also numbers 1 and 2 at the Zhongbao tea stall. Upon hearing this, I quickly arrived at Uncle Zhong's place. Uncle Zhong is worthy of being a living history book of Domain 9. I think he seems to know everything. If it weren't for his son and grandchildren, I thought he was the biggest boss. Here's some unexpected information. Do you know why Ming Jing often drinks tea? Xiao Feng mentioned in his previous interpretation that Ming Jing is not a person who knows tea. The reason why he keeps coming to the tea stall, just to keep an eye on the situation of the intelligent servant. Because the intelligent servants here were sent by Ling Qiao. He's afraid of something going wrong. Isn't it quite unexpected? To return to the point of truth, Uncle Zhong's schools number 1 and number 2. Don't mention upgrading. They were never started before. Almost spider web covering them. The executor couldn't help but feel a wave of fear in his heart. Fortunately, they didn't start. Otherwise, the tea stall will be finished. Ming Jing and Shirley are respectively responsible for repairing a smart servant. When I was in Asperia, I saw my family repairing intelligent servants and secretly learned a skill. The executor is happy and leisurely. Upon seeing this, Uncle Zhong also took the initiative to engage in conversation. Pay attention to the address here. Uncle Zhong calls him Ming Jing, not a lord. It can be seen that although Ming Jing is a new generation of Xuanwu, but it's still very people-oriented. This also conforms to his statement that identity is responsibility. For Ming Jing, being able to communicate without regard for identity is what his heart yearns for. Uncle Zhong told us about Ling Qiao's childhood. Although the power of invention has exploded, but accidents keep happening. It was Ming Jing who saw her talent. There is a certain meaning of encountering bull in 1,000 miles. So Ming Jing didn't care about those little accidents, and took a fancy to her talent, so he gave this project to her. No wonder Ling Qiao is willing to live in the laboratory. This may also be a form of gratitude, right? Then Uncle Zhong also explained the purpose of Ming Jing's frequent visit here. It's a masterpiece of Ling Qiao without trust. Meanwhile, Ming Jing and Shirley are still cultivating the intelligent servant. Pay attention to the here. Pass your Shirley. Oh, wait a minute. I'll look for it. Sorry, Miss Shirley. I'll do it myself. Listen to the next sentence again. The titles of the two sentences are not the same. Ming Jing still retains Zeke's subconscious in his heart. That's why he called Shirley. Shirley also mentioned the interesting story of the former shelter. It was Mia who repaired it. Good guy. Mia's stuttering culprit has finally been found. Was it repaired by Zeke? Uncle Zhong suggested that we can attend the Qianglu Grand Festival together in the evening. Shirley is also very interested. The opportunity to spend more time with Ming Jing cannot be missed. When Shirley went, the executor naturally agreed. The next step is to go to Zhuke military camp. By the reed marsh. I heard a cry for help coming from inside. Hello, can someone come and help me? Take a closer look. Good guy, a large square hill gathering scene. The square mound in the middle is even more prominent. It will still shine. This is not a tactical disguise, is it? Let's rename it tactical exposure. It's not even possible to be so bright and inconspicuous. Farther away by the river is the body of a cockroach. Regarding cockroach, you can watch the live broadcast of Xiaofang 3.1 and interpret the video of that episode. Everyone comes in front and behind. Directly disregarded Feng Qiu's request for help. But instead, he turned to observe the body of a cockroach. Indeed, it was done by a combat-wise servant. 9 domain guard can't beat 1 darkness. But it was solved by a small intelligent servant. This scene greatly shocked Ming Jing. This also lays the foundation for promoting the research and development of intelligent servants in the future. Ming Jing ordered to reassess the safety index. Still, Ming Jing Lord is far ahead by 100 points. Not acting as an executor Sally 20 points. Is it not planning to change this evaluation rule? Even Feng Qiu has 20 points. After lifting the disguise, the glowing square mount has transformed into a human being. He calls Ming Jing his lord. It can be seen that people from Domain 9 still respect Xuanwu. Ming Jing simply explained to him what happened. The man expresses understanding. He used to wonder what the laboratory was doing before. He still seems to have some skills now. It just needs to be improved. Solved the matter and quickly arrived at the military camp. The intelligent servants are practicing diligently. Compared to test server, the actions have been optimized consistently. Still quite imposing. It's just an angel of nothingness riding a turtle. No matter how it looks, it can only be described as cute. Rong Jin is now in the military camp. He learned that the intelligent servant had successfully saved a human being. It also killed the head of darkness. Everyone was very surprised. We didn't expect these intelligent servants to be so capable. This also strengthens Ming Jing's heart to develop intelligent servants. The idea of Ling Xiao is not nonsense, but rather the possibility of the future. It sounds like after solving these issues, Ming Jing's mood has changed. The adaptability of the combat intelligent servant can be an unexpected gain. Speaking of these intelligent servants, I have them all. When will the officer module be installed? I also want to have a small team of intelligent servants. Next is to participate in the Qionglu Grand Festival. The location is at Jixian Hall. Previously, it was speculated that the grand event would take place in another state. Unexpectedly, the officials set up a temple fair directly on site. Just ask if you're surprised or not. Ming Jing, as a half of Domain 9 people, naturally became a guide. But he felt lost in his heart. How to describe it? Just like the executor of amnesia. Our identity was first granted by shelters. Shirley turned us into a member of the shelter with a new arrival. Later, it was requisitioned by High becoming an executor. This is the mission and significance entrusted to us. The same is true of Ming Jing. For Domain 9, he is an outsider with no past. After becoming the new Xuanwu, only then was it recognized to exist. But this recognition is because he became Xuanwu, rather than the recognition of Ming Jing himself. This is also his dilemma. Not just Ling Xiao. Ming Jing also wants to produce results as soon as possible, to give back to everyone's expectations of him. I suddenly realized that this temple fair is also considered a patient exchange event. 2 amnesiacs plus 1 altered and completely unrecognizable. Although Shirley has no memory loss. But from Shirley to Nemesis, she has a proper reincarnation routine. So in turn, she comforted Ming Jing. My friend's companionship has convinced me that even if I am no longer what I am, it is still me. The executor couldn't help it at this moment. They want to have a showdown. In fact, we are. It must be because we also come from abroad, similar to Ming Jing's experience. But was interrupted by Shirley, and took the opportunity to shift the topic. Ming Jing sees the situation as unfavorable, excusing to buy flower lanterns. Go away, go away. I thought he really went to buy a lantern. I even made a special search for it. But as a result, he was watching the scenery. What about the agreed cue? Isn't this the legend that I want to be quiet? But this is not over yet. Behind Ming Jing, it's Shirley looking at here. Ming Jing is watching the scenery. Ming Jing is the scenery in Shirley's eyes. I originally wanted to buy a lantern in advance. But miss, she doesn't sell me. I have to go back to Shirley first. Shirley explained why she interrupted us. This sentence is a bit catchy, let me translate it briefly. Translated as, I hope you remember me because you remember me. Not because I want you to remember me. You just desperately want to remember me. If you can't remember me on your own, then I would rather you didn't remember me. I don't want you to be upset because you want to remember me and can't remember me. Well, that's probably what that means. The day's harvest is also quite significant. Ming Jing is that Zeke has obtained 120% certification. See Zeke again. Shirley also has a different feeling. When Zeke wanted to set up a shelter, still at a very young age. At that time, Shirley was not sensible. She only knows she's following her brother. Everything is protected by her brother in front of her. Even if it's eyeglasses, there will be a brother holding onto it. But they were all children at the time. Now hear Ming Jing's words. Only then did she realize that her brother is also an ordinary person. It's his sense of responsibility that doesn't allow him to be irresponsible. Just because of the name Xuanwu. He has paid a lot for Domain 9. The title of the leader of the Star Island Refuge. How much did he put in? Shirley went to chat with her brother. Let's eavesdrop first. The executor must be your very good friend. The person I trust the most. Without an executor, I wouldn't be the person I am now, and I wouldn't be able to get here. Meeting the executor is my greatest happiness. The storms we have experienced together have witnessed this rocky bond. Your relationship is really good. Occasionally getting together with everyone doesn't feel bad. Well, if there's a chance, I hope we can still invite you like this. Let's make a deal then. Unexpectedly, Shirley praised me like this behind her back. Instantly satisfied. Finding her brother all the way finally yielded results. Just wait for the memory to recover. Come to the market in a blink of an eye. Rong Jin is looking for her sister. Zhong Bo and Zhong Bei are putting on Kong Ming Lantern. Uncle Zhong really set up a stall. I just didn't see stupid 1 and 2. Ling Qiao, after learning about today's event. Her tail is going up in the sky. I am truly worthy of it. I knew that a skilled and specially designed intelligent servant with excellent performance would definitely shine brightly. After wandering around, it's time to wrap up the grand event. Ming Jing and Shirley are waiting for us to turn on the lights. Since we need to light up, we must make a wish. But the executor had a bad mindset. Intentionally talking to Shirley. Do Shirley have any different wishes? We can all find what we are looking for when our lost loved ones reunite. If we say it, won't it become ineffective? Hey, you asked me to say it. Shirley was so ashamed and angry. Chasing and fighting with the executor. Finally found her brother. She can finally relax. The executor wants to follow Ming Jing's routine. Shirley interrupted me in time. This is the end of the mimetic plot. I actually want to go into more detail about the plot this time. Xiaofeng has been interpreting the plot for over a year now. The plot progress of the Tower of Fantasy is truly visible to the naked eye. From the characters' movements and expressions. Deliberate and polished the copy. From the beginning, there was no mutual interference. Until now, the context echoes. This plot has surprised me too much. Roughly speaking, It was a great event trip. Take a closer look. The fragmented narrative of the Sol system is worth pondering. And the most crucial thing is that the plot serves the shaping of the characters. In this plot, whether it's Ling Qiao or Ming Jing, both of them are quite well shaped. Even MS, Yu, Rong Jin, who is a supporting role, Uncle Zhong et al. All have varying degrees of characterization. At the same time, Dudu's plot is connected to the maid's plot. This makes the plot more profound. More and more content worth digging up. This dubbing is even more divine. I really recommend going to see the original plot. Teacher CD takes into account the psychological activities and emotions of the characters, all integrated into the lines. I'm looking forward to the performance of Tower of Fantasy in the future. From service opening to now, Xiao Fang's evaluation of the Tower of Fantasy remains unchanged. Eternal future is foreseeable. I want to see where the Tower of Fantasy can go. Perhaps this is also the idea of many veteran players. As for why the plot analysis was so late this time. Because I've been addicted to playing Tower of Fantasy lately. This is another time to indulge in the Tower of Fantasy after opening the server. The reason is just because of Greatsword Onyx Tortoise's weapon. It addresses the implicit needs of current players. That's why I said that Tower of Fantasy is like Ling Qiao. About this weapon, I would like to create a separate video to discuss. How does a weapon achieve subversion of the Phantom Tower? Okay, that's all for this issue. Follow Xiao Fang, taking you to experience a different Tower of Fantasy.